Man, there was this clown. And he was a happy guy. I mean, a real happy guy. He had all these greens and all these yellows and all of these oranges bubbling around inside of him. And he just had one thing that he wanted in this world. He just wanted to make people laugh. That's all he wanted out of this world. He was a real happy guy. Let me tell you about this clown. He used to raise a sweat every night out there on the stage and just wouldn't stop. That's how hard he worked. He was trying to make people laugh. He used to have this cute little gimmick where a seal would follow him up and down the stage, blowing Columbia, the gem of the ocean, on a B flat Sears Roebuck Model 1322A plastic bugle. A real cute act. But they didn't laugh. Just a few things here and there, but nothing really. And then he was booking out in all these tank towns, the Rotary Club, the Kiwanis Club, the American Legion Hall, and he just wasn't making it. And he had all these wonderful things going on inside of him. All of these greens and yellows, all of these oranges. He's a real happy guy. And all he wanted to do was to make people laugh. That's all he wanted out of this world, was to make people laugh. And then something began to grow. Something that wasn't good began to grow deep inside of this guy. You know, it's a funny thing. Something began to trouble this clown. You know, little things. Little things once in a while would happen that would make the crowd move, but never the right things. Like, for example, the time the seal got sick on stage, all over the stage. The crowd had just broke up. Just broke up, and they weren't supposed to be in the act, and they weren't supposed to be funny. This began to trouble him. This began to bother him. This little thing began to grow inside. All those greens, all those oranges, all those yellows, they just weren't as bright as they used to be. And all he wanted to do was to make that crowd laugh. That's all he wanted to do. There was this one night in Dubuque when he was playing this Rotary Club. All these dentists, all these druggists, all these postmen sitting around. A real cold bunch. And nothing is happening. He was leaving the stage when he stepped over the ladder and fell flat on his face. Just flat on his face. And he stands up and he's got a bloody nose. He looks at the crowd and they are rolling on the floor. He just knocked them flat out. This begins to trouble him even more. He begins to see something. He begins to see something. And right about here is when things begin to change. But really change. Not the least of which, our clown changes his act. He bought himself a set of football pads and a yellow helmet with red stripes. He hired a girl who dropped a 5 pound sack of flour on his head from maybe about 20 feet up. What a bit that one was, really. That one broke him up every night. But not like Dubuque. And all those colors. All those yellows, all those oranges, all those reds. A lot of gray in there now. A lot of blue. And all he wanted to do was to make this crowd laugh. That's all he wanted out of this world. They were laughing all right. Not like Dubuque, but they were laughing. And then the dough started coming in. He was playing these big towns, Chicago, Detroit, and then it was Pittsburgh one night. Real fine town, Pittsburgh, you know. About 3/4 of his way through the act, the rope broke, and down came the backdrop, right on the back of his neck, and he went flat. And something broke. This was it. It hurt way down deep inside. He tried to get up, and he looked at the audience. And man, you should have seen that audience. You should have seen that crowd. They were rolling in the aisles. This was bigger than Dubuque. This was bigger than Dubuque. He really had him going. And this was it. This was the last one. This was the last one. Yeah. This was the last one. He knew now. Man, he really knew now. But it was too late. And all they wanted to do was make this crowd laugh. Well, they were laughing, but now we knew. That was the end of the clown. And you should have seen the bookings coming in. Man, his agent was on the phone for 24 hours. The Palladium, MCA, William Morris. But it was too late. He really knew now. He really knew. He really knew now. William Morris sent his regrets.